What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Rec Talk. I hope y'all are having a great Wednesday. Yeah, don't worry about that stop sign, buddy. That's just a suggestion, these traffic lights and stop signs here in Georgia. But anyways, I hope you're having a great Wednesday. It's hump day! And I saw something I never thought I would see. Josh Pate, kinda, sorta, with a big asterisk, giving Georgia Tech, I guess, some credit. Now, if you've ever watched my channel, and I don't talk about Josh Pate a lot, I don't really watch Josh Pate because I like to watch people that have some balls that'll actually give you a definitive, like falsifiable opinion or statement on college football. There's two big reasons that I don't really care for Josh Pate, just before I get into the Georgia Tech ACC title thing. One is what I said. He basically speaks in Barnum statements. Now, you're probably asking yourself, if you don't know, well, what's a Barnum statement? A Barnum statement comes from P.T. Barnum, the circus guy who said, "We have something for everybody," which is the probably best description of Josh Pate's channel you could give. He just pumps sunshine and roses up every fan base's ass. This is something Uncle Lewis criticized him for as well. Every fan base out there, everything's fine. You're moving in the right direction, blah, blah, blah. Except for Georgia Tech up until now. That leads into my second reason why I don't really care for Josh Pate. He's the biggest Jeff Collins nut hugger propagandist that you could find out there. Now, when Jeff Collins was first hired, I think he did, to give him some credit, correctly said, hey, Georgia Tech's kind of this, he used sleeping giant. I wouldn't necessarily use that term. They're definitely a school that I think has underutilized the resources that they have around Atlanta that could really work for them. And he said, hey, Jeff Collins coming in could be that guy to really turn the tide for Tech. I don't fault him for that. I thought that, a lot of people thought that, the difference between me and you, if you're a Tech fan most likely, and Josh Pate is that once the results on the field didn't bear that out, we said, okay, we were wrong, and let me get the sun out of here. We were wrong, and this guy's a complete idiot. He's not a football coach. What is Jeff Collins really? He would be better placed in YouTube, espousing their ignorance like I do every day, and like Josh Pate does. So, there we go. That'll work. That's a big reason. And even after Jeff Collins was fired, Josh Pate did propaganda spin work for him. Did a video that was basically like, hey, these are guys, here are guys, coaches, I think he had 3 of them, that basically due to circumstance are kind of being hamstrung, didn't work out, but it probably isn't fair to them. And basically said, the pandemic, the triple option, all these reasons. Jeff Collins was promised all these things he never got. But I can't speak about it. Well, if you can't speak about it, then shut up. Don't bring it up. It's not fair. How do you have a conversation with that? You're wrong, and I have evidence that says you're wrong, but I can't tell you or show you what the evidence is. That's pussy stuff, man. And if we're going to play that game, hey, I do kind of know what happened behind the scenes with how Jeff Collins acted when he left, how he acted, what he said, the people he called, what he said to them. That tells me that he's a piece of shit. So are you aware of that, Josh Pate? Are you ever going to talk about that? Or are you just going to say, Jeff Collins is the greatest ever? And also, how do you explain Brent Key going on the road, 2 touchdown underdogs twice and winning with the same exact team? How do you explain that? How do you explain going to North Carolina and letting JMU hang 70 on them? This kind of stuff. But he's never once came out and said anything about it. One of us has come out before the season at North Carolina and made a definitive statement that said, hey, he will retire Mac Brown inside of a year. And I was right. I didn't do a Barnum statement Here's an example of a Barnum statement. I'm going to do a reading on you watching right now. You watching, you're somebody that you can find it hard to connect with people. Like if you're at a party, maybe you don't have a ton of friends there, or you're at work, you start a new job, you really find it hard to find your footing there. But when you're around your friends, you really connect with them and resonate with them and have a good time, and you're jovial. But if one of them betrays you, that really sticks with you, that hurts, and that you find it hard to trust other people. All I've really said is you're close to people you're close to, and you're not close to people you're not close to. And that's all that Josh Pate does. So what did he say? He had a viewer write him in and say, hey, basically, what's your way too early conference title predictions for 2025? Now, in his defense, he's making light of it. Hey, you can't hold me to this. It's absolutely insane to make predictions about the end of next year. And he didn't use this phraseology, but because of the portal, you don't even know what the rosters for their teams are going to look like. He said Clemson over Georgia Tech in the ACC title. Now, this is quite a bold prediction. I am a Tech fan, and I would not predict Georgia Tech in the ACC title this year, which might piss off even my own fans. Georgia Tech has major question marks, particularly on the defensive front. We lose Makia Scott, Sylvain Yanjuan, Zeke Biggers. Who else? Well, I know we lose at least like 4 I can think of off the top of my head, and I don't see a ton of replacement. Like for Georgia Tech to come to make an ACC title run, they'd have to fix that, and they'd have to fix it in the portal in the second window after spring, and I just don't know that that's going to happen. They do bring in people like Christian Garrett and several others, Norris on the defensive line, but you can't expect a freshman to come in and light up the world and be extraordinarily productive for you in year one the way probably Tech needs to. And he doesn't say much about it, but he basically says, hey, Georgia Tech, they scared Georgia. If they would have won that, probably more people would have talked about them, which is probably true, but I don't know. I mean, I think that was such a watch game, and it going to 8 overtimes made the statement it needed to. It got people's attention. Am I making excuses for it? No, I don't ever want to talk about that game again. But if from a standpoint of Georgia Tech getting people's attention, it did do that. And that's really all he said about it. And, I will pivot, and, you can't hold me to this. So there's going to be people that say, hey, he's clearly making light of it. He's forced to, he's kind of arm is twisted to make this prediction, and he's making it. So why are you being so hard on him? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if Georgia Tech does make an ACC title, he's going to claim genius. He's going to say, see, I told you guys. I told you, I'm such a genius. This is stuff that like Kelly Quinlan does. I'm sorry, but it's true. And I have evidence to support this. Last year, week 8 rings out to me. I could be wrong on the exact week, but he said, hey, major upset weekend, guys. Josh Pate, Pate State. I got this big dumb chalice, Pate State phone. Big upset weekend, volcanic upset weekend coming. Pay attention. Didn't pick a single underdog. Picked all favorites, which C-Dog made this great analogy, my good friend C-Dog. That would be like being a weatherman, Weather Channel, saying, hey, monsoon rolling in, floods countrywide, massive downpour countrywide, and then you do the Weather Freak City and predict nothing but sun. That's Josh Pate. And so either way, if there is a few upsets, he claims genius. If there's not, he just never mentions it, right? And there's going to be some upsets. So this isn't impressive at all. I remember with Duke at Clemson, not last year, but the year before. Hey, man, y'all need to pay attention to Duke Clemson. Mike Elko's got something going on. This Riley Leonard kid is something. It's going to be a very interesting, competitive game, and I'm paraphrasing. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Duke won this game. What did he really say, though? Nothing. Again, he claims victory on either side of it. If it's close, hey, I told you, this was going to be an interesting game, one to watch out. Duke, took Clemson to the wire. If Duke wins, hey, I'm a genius. I told you. It wouldn't surprise me if they won. If it's a blowout, hey, I'm still a genius because a lot of people thought this would be close and it wasn't. I just can't respect it. So even though he is finally, in the most backhanded way possible, giving Tech, I guess, some credit, I don't want it, I don't need it, and I don't respect it. Say what you want about Rec Talk. I'll give you my actual hard-nosed opinion on something, right? Like I said Jeff Collins wouldn't work out at North Carolina. He'd retire Mac Brown. I was right. You know what else? I said Deion Sanders would implode before October last year, not make a bowl and be awful, and I was wrong. So even if you're a Deion Sanders fan and you hate Rec Talk for what he said, you've got to, at least I'll own that, and at least I'll give you an opinion. I just can't respect someone that Barnum Statements you to death and claims victory and plays both sides of the fence. Like, what value is there in that? What value is there in that? Georgia Tech's going to be just fine this year, but the hell with Jeff Collins and the hell with Josh Pate. Y'all tell me what you think in the comments. Do you like Josh Pate? Do you think this guy's some kind of genius? Do you think Georgia Tech's making an ACC title unlike Rec Talk this year? Let me know in the comments. Y'all have a good one.